So around that same time, remember we're talking about the 2000 timeline, right? Around the time Get Rich or Die Trying is moving around, Jay-Z is starting to take notice of Cash Money. He said it in a couple of interviews. He's mixed up the different people because at one point he said in the rhyme even, only dudes moving units and pimp juice and us. Because he was literally starting to notice and be petty about who was doing the bigger numbers at the time. Birdman had gotten that big ass $100 million record deal, that distribution deal for Cash Money. You think Jay didn't feel some type of way about that? Jay very much felt some type of way about that. Even down to when Birdman was saying Lil Wayne had more money than him.
How does Jay feel about Baby from Cash Money constantly saying Weezy is more lyrical and has more money than Jay-Z?
Being lyrical is just a matter of opinion. It's who you like. So, that's his opinion. As far as money, I mean, that's a little more factual. Right, we can determine that.
Right, we would have to see your bank accounts and things of this nature.
I have no problem. What it gonna cost? Put it up. If he's that confident, I give him a little glimpse. It's crazy. I give him a little glimpse. Check that out. Cut it out. Knock it off. But as far as being lyrical, I mean that's from one's. That's for the viewers.
That's anybody's. Yeah.
That's everybody. So if he believes that, then I respect that. And that's his guy. So he's supposed to ride with his guy. So. I don't have no problems with that. I have no problems with nobody. It's my positive. I want this to be my most positive year. I don't want no problems.
Beyonce and Jay-Z earned $122 million, becoming the highest earning.
Right after that.
Huh?
Right after that.
Right
so I'm saying, black and white is the ink, baby. I'm just having fun.
So again, early 2000s, right? Birdman goes on record saying that Wayne is better rapper and has more money than Jay. Jay takes a big chuckle at that, right? But what would happen then would start the back and forth. Again, we're talking about a very petty Pendergrass time of Jay-Z in the early 2000s where he is very competitive. 50 Cent, he's had his dealings with. Hell, he had to warn his entire Rockefeller crew, yo, 50 is coming. In the club happens. Boom, boom. Get Rich or Die Trying, 10 million albums sold. Massacre, 10 million albums sold. He needed Kanye to get him the fuck out of here. That was why you saw Jay-Z on the stage. Bet $1 million! When Kanye was on 106 and Park and that whole Curtis versus Kanye thing was going on. That's why Jay funded that. He needed somebody to change the entire wave of what 50 Cent was doing. But again, during the beginnings of the 2000s, Jay-Z was heavily competitive and heavily petty against everybody. Again, he was very petty when when Birdman said that shit. We're going to get into that line too.
So you're behind the scenes. I want to know because Pusha T is one of my favorite rappers ever. Pusha T he was poking and prodding at Lil Wayne
for years.
Ever since Mr. Me Too. Which is
for a long time.
That's prior to you being with Young Money.
That should the Pusha T and Young Money or Wayne shit, that should go back way before me. Like I just probably only entertained it because I was Young Money at the time.
Yeah, because like
you know what I'm saying?
It took Wayne, I want to say it was maybe 3 or 4 years ago where he finally said Pusha's name on a record. Or I don't remember what he said. He's finally acknowledged Pusha T officially.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow.
Yeah,
But like, was that something that like was a known issue in the crew? Like, man, these guys over here, man, they're fucking disrespectful.
Nah,
Like,
you know why? Because Wayne be in his own little world. So Wayne don't really listen. Like, he don't really be knowing what be going on. It'd be like me or Gutter or like.
they gotta tell him or show him something.
Yeah, a little twist would always come in and show him some shit on the laptop or Twitter or Instagram. Here, big bro, look at this. So he would be so far into his music, he wouldn't really know about like the darts. But when he find out about it, it'd be like, a word? Oh, pull that shit up. Let me see that shit. And then everybody, like all the assistants and managers would be like, oh God, Mills, why did you get him started? I remember we was in the studio and Ye came to play Ham.
Over the Zaytoven production.
I don't know if I even want to tell that.
Finish the story.
Tell this story.
You gotta go.
But
You started
I remember
it.
when first time Wayne heard Ham, right? He didn't feel that shit. What was the bar in there, man?
I just remember.
You baby money, you got baby money, that ain't my lady. Something my lady money, that's baby money. You got, like, it was some shit like that. I remember Wayne walked out the room.
While Kanye was there?
Song still playing. Like, just went to go get like a cup of water and shit.
Went to get a cup of water my ass. He literally heard that line and said, oh, okay. Oh, you heard? Okay. I heard that too.
Like,
yeah, that.
And I remember like 2 days later, he did a song. Was it Drake, Jada kissing Wayne? Was that Carter 3? Kidnap your bitch, see how much you love your lady money?
That was Carter 3? No.
Let me help you out there, Mills. I got you.
Niggas fantasize about the shit that I do daily. Like these rappers rap about all the shit that I do really. I'm like really $500 million, nigga, really. You got baby money, keep it real with niggas. Niggas ain't got my lady money.
That bar.
Talking about baby money, I got your baby money. Kidnap your bitch, get that how much you love your lady money.
Niggas wanna kid.
And Wayne quickly responded.
Money.
Talking about baby money, I got your baby money. Kidnap your bitch, get that how much you love your lady money.
And it was on from there. It was on between the two from there. Now, remember, this is also after, so let's put this into context too. This is also after, yes, the Upgrade You record as well. So this is after Carter 3, right? Jay has already rapped with Wayne on Carter 3 on Mr. Carter. Wayne has also already did his little 2006 interview where he's bigging up Jay. Also, the Show Me What You Got freestyle back and forth between the two. This is post that. So we're talking about what, 2000, I want to say 9-ish? 2010-ish this is? About 2010. When Magna Carta, I believe, came. No, not Magna Carta. Watch the Throne. Excuse me.
Niggas wanna kidnap white feet. Good luck with that, bruh. You must go and hide your whole family. What you think we wearing black for?
Swang and bang music.
So yeah, the pettiness. Yeah, will Lil Wayne respond? Stay tuned. He already has a couple times. Like I said, they've been back and forth over the past few years. Not recently, but since that little stint right there, again, no different than I'm about $1. What the fuck is 50 Cent? Jay will always respond to something when it's publicly known and it's hot. When he knows something that everybody else is talking about, he is going to address it. That's just who Jay is. But he's also one to keep a beef going. He will literally hold on. He is a Sagittarius. He will hold his shit until he is 60. He is going to forever be petty to 50 Cent and Lil Wayne, Nas, and whoever else the fuck. He is literally going to be his Sagittarius self and be petty to whoever. So, again, those two have a long stint of beef amongst each other. My whole thing is, why would you continue to hold this over Wayne's head? I get it. Because the original beef was with his boss, Birdman. So how do you, again, be petty to someone that literally said they were going to kidnap your wife in a record? You say, oh, you want to perform at the Super Bowl? I'm going to own part of the NFL. So now, when you celebrating your little Green Bay Packers, you got to think about me at the end of the day. There's never been a day in history when Jay-Z took over the charts. I distinctly remember Lil Wayne. And see, that was another thing someone was talking about earlier. There hasn't been literally a period where Jay was just this number one guy on Billboard. Hell, he didn't get his the first number one till New York State of Mind. And Big Pimpin', I believe. Actually, no, it was New York State of Mind. It was New York State of Mind. Big Pimpin' wasn't the number one yet. It was close. It was up there. It was up there. But yeah, Jay has never necessarily been the top guy. He's always just maintained his steady cool. He's always just maintained his longevity as being one of the top guys until there were no more top guys and it was just him left. That's really how Jay was able to sustain his goatness, pretty much, because he was the last one left. That's the only reason how. It wasn't because he had a shit ton of accolades yet. He didn't gain all those accolades until later on down the journey. And everyone else, you look back, doesn't have as many accolades as Jay, right? Or an Eminem, except for a Kendrick Lamar. So that would bring on my next thing, right? Right now, there's this whole thing of Lil Wayne not being able to perform at the Super Bowl, right? And it stems from, of course, the announcement of K-Dot. K-Dot pretty much had went recently. He recently had posted that he was going to be performing at the Super Bowl. And not too many people took a liking to it. And I get why. I kind of get why everybody didn't necessarily take a liking to it. Because it's New Orleans at the end of the day, right? But still. Yes. Okay, let me just be all the way transparent here, right? Yes, I do think Lil Wayne should have the Super Bowl performance over Kendrick Lamar in New Orleans. Reason why is because it is New Orleans and Lil Wayne is a pivotal superstar to New Orleans. He's a big deal, period, to hip hop, yes, in the music industry. But I also understand why Kendrick Lamar is picked. Kendrick has had the bigger year. What it do, Kimba? What it do? Kimba has had the much bigger year as far as 2024 is concerned. And This, not necessarily saying that this is a Grammy run for the Super Bowl, of course, but think about it for on terms of how Usher got it, right? Usher had that whole year of you seeing his residency at the Vegas at Vegas, right? And he pretty much was the talk of performers. Say that key word there for you. He was one of the top performers talked about that year, right? That is why Wayne is not necessarily picked. That is the only reason why Wayne is. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that, King Osmo, because that was my next bit. Jay doesn't even necessarily have any say per se over who performs at the Super Bowl. That is actually done by the fans of New Orleans as far as who is voted to perform. A lot of people don't know that part. Jay possibly does, of course, has a say in who's going to be performing. Just like he had a say in how 50 couldn't necessarily perform with Dre and them. He does have that pull, of course. But as far as the deciding factor of who actually performs, Jay has very little say in that part. So as King Osmond just said, the people of New Orleans aren't necessarily in an outrage as much as there are some people that just don't understand why Lil Wayne is not performing at the Super Bowl in New Orleans. One of those people being Nicki Minaj, of course. Nicki Minaj has been on a Twitter rant, needless to say, saying a lot of shit about Jay. Yes, because they want to expose all the skeletons now. They would like to expose. Matter of fact, you just reminded me of something. Just reminded me of something real quick before we even get into what Nicki is saying, because we have to go down the pipeline of things as well. Let me see something real quick. Let me see if I still got this. Let me see. I should still have this here. I should still have. Okay. I do know where that is. But, give me 1 second here. I just want to find. I'm going to get that real quick up. If I can. Because Sloan literally. Is that what it is? Is that what it's called? Let me see if that's what's called in here. Ah, here he is. I do have it. Okay.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sloan from SloanBella.com, and I'm back with a...
So, Sloan, a couple of months ago, literally predicted that Jay was going to be going through a trial of tribulation that he couldn't hide from.
Present myself outwardly in a different fashion. He thinks he can escape by doing that. If I present myself this way, the public will see me this way, and nothing will happen to me. Now, he's definitely... one kid. There might be more than one kid. I can't remember with everybody who has kids. But anyway, him, his kid, and his wife, I see them with suitcases. And I literally see them leaving. So their residence will no longer be in the United States. This is what I'm seeing. And this happens by 2027, if not sooner. 2025 through 2027. There is a leaving of the energy here, and there is a flipping of his personality. So what I'm seeing is a complete shift in his personality. So what does that mean? It means that on a representative way, so how I present myself outwardly, this changes. So now I change my tune, put on another mask, and I present myself outwardly in a different fashion. He thinks he can escape by doing that. If I present myself this way, the public will see me this way and nothing will happen to me.
So pretty much Jay is about to go through the next 3 years. His own little Diddy phase of trial and tribulation is what Sloan is getting at.
Now, he's definitely 100% energetically connected to the different hierarchies on the other side. So this man understands metaphysical principles, occult principles, how to use those principles, and how to move through different layers of energy himself. No questions asked. The reason that he is in the music industry is because of his finely tuned ability to walk a line between what you and I see and where they go, which is different, which is why they have a different lifestyle than us. It's not because they're better or more creative. Understand what you're looking at when you see somebody like Jay-Z is somebody who took an opportunity, Saturn in Taurus, okay, retrograde. Somebody who took an opportunity to step out of a comfort zone and into one that they thought, and this is a greed level. I want fame, I want success, I want money. It's not just I'm a businessman. And he is using his queen, which is Queen B, b.l.a.c, to help him maneuver in that fashion. But it's interesting because what I see is the wax is melting on the candle. So that tells me something as I'm saying it, that these two engage in ritual expression, involved with fire, candle magic, which is really kind of novice. Like there's higher levels. Candle magic is a novice beginner way to manipulate energy, but I'm seeing them melt like wax candles. So the facade that they both have and that their family has is actually crumbling right now. You will see it within 3 years. There are legal troubles for Jay-Z that come up in November, and they come attached to another person, but not a person that you actually think, which would be P. Diddy spilling the beans as he gets dragged into court. No, it's not P. Diddy. It is somebody else. And I'm kind of swinging around to Justin Bieber. Like I'm looking at the people up there, and I'm kind of torn between Chris Brown and Justin Bieber. But I'm going the Justin Bieber way here because Bieber is involved in this sideways. Okay, so there's a sideways connection to Bieber, which I'm sure they're all in the industry, different forms of expression, but they're all in the industry. So this makes sense to me. And then when I look at Jay-Z and Beyonce, I see the fading on the candle. The wax is melting. They are what we would consider to be high-level government experiments. I'm going to put it that way. It doesn't start off that way. But that's what they are. That's the cat jumping in for her opinion.
Now, that whole thing that she's talking about, matter of fact, and I hope she is looking in here. Because shout out to Surprise Witness TV. That exact thing she's talking about right now, Surprise Witness TV actually covered. There was an old case that Jay and Diddy was involved in. And she pretty much had broke it down. I thought the video got taken down, but it actually didn't. I remember beforehand she actually the original one she was forced to take down, and she actually got to put up the a newer version of it. But Jay and Diddy was involved in a pretty weird case that involved doing what Sloan just said, doing experiments on people. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but
did you know that Jay-Z, P. Diddy, 2 Chainz, and Rick Ross were sued in 2022 for brainwashing, slavery, and H trafficking? Well, if you watched my video before it mysteriously vanished, you probably did know that. And now it's gone from the internet. Isn't that strange? Anyway, here I am to
it did get banned.
again because, girl, you're not going to keep me down. So let's pull that lawsuit back up. This lawsuit was filed April 21st, 2022, and it was filed in the Eastern District of New York. It was filed by a man named Ross Daniel Walker against Sean Jay-Z Carter and 3 other defendants. Who are the other defendants? I'll put the pictures up here with their information blurred out. but it is Sean Jay-Z Carter, 2 Chainz, the rapper. What's his name? Tauheed Epps. Sean John Combs, that's P. Diddy, and William Leonard Roberts II, who is the rapper Rick Ross. Now, importantly, before I read any of the allegations in this case, I want to be very, very clear. The lawsuit has been dismissed. It's been dismissed as frivolous. So I'm just going to put a disclaimer right here, and it's going to stay there the whole video because I am not saying any of this stuff actually happened. I am not saying that this case shouldn't have been dismissed. Girl, maybe I would have dismissed the case. I really don't know. But here are the allegations, and knowing what we know today, seeing what we've seen, specifically what comes to mind is Cassie getting snatched up by the ponytail at the elevator when she was trying to put her shoe on and then kicked in the head and kicked in the ribs and kicked in the spleen and every other thing else. It just makes me wonder if this same lawsuit would have been brought today, would it also have been dismissed as frivolous? Perhaps, because I do have another video coming. It's like an hour long where some other people are making a similar type of allegation against Jay-Z. Not only Jay-Z though, y'all. I mean, they're suing Jeffy and the other Steen, the Steens and the Steins, if you know what I mean. Those two, and Jay-Z. So there are other people who have come out and made claims, and they
see how he's pretty much like Sloan said. All this shit is about to come back full circle and bite Jay in the ass.
Their claims were also similarly dismissed. Now, this case we're reading today, it was dismissed as frivolous before anybody had to actually come and say anything in their defense. And you'll see what I mean in just a moment. So what are the allegations in this Ross Walker versus Jay-Z, Diddy, 2 Chainz, Rick Ross case? Great question. Let's get into it. Now, what we're looking at is basically a questionnaire. You have to fill out a questionnaire when you are a pro se litigant, meaning when you're representing yourself. This is not legal advice. Please do contact a lawyer if you need legal advice. If you need legal advice, please contact an attorney licensed to practice in your jurisdiction, which I am not. I am not your lawyer, and I will never give you legal advice. Y'all know I have to make all these disclaimers because my videos just mysteriously are disappearing off the internet. What is going on? So if you're getting aggravated at disclaimers, I'm so sorry, but I just have to do what I have to do. So this is a questionnaire that this Ross Walker guy did fill out. And the reason for these questionnaires is just to make sure that the court actually has the jurisdiction to hear the case. So here it says, he is saying this needs to be heard in this federal court because it violates the federal human king laws. Human king harassed and intimidate. Use for conspiracy theory. Stole my art's ideas. Well, I don't know what in the hell the man is trying to say. I could probably try and fill in the lines. It is a little vague. It is a little ambiguous. And I'm starting to get the idea and the understanding of why it might have been dismissed.
Yeah, Juju, that was the first case that she was talking about. Her video pretty much got taken down. That video did get taken down, and it's really hard to find that actual lawsuit of them doing experiments on a lady. Pretty much, I know you're talking about the family. The lady pretty much made claim that they were doing experiments on her and shit. And I think that's the case that's pretty much going to be circling back around.
The defendant, Sean Jay-Z Carter. So if you go to federal court, you have to be suing for more than 75 grand, basically. He says, definition of character harassment, systematic racism. I'm seeking damage for an oppression. $20 billion. I don't know if he's saying 120 billion, girl, but this seems like a frivolous amount of money. I will have to say it seems pretty frivolous. I don't know if it's 20 billion or 120 billion. It's like a fantastical amount of money. You might believe he's owed that, but it does start to make sense why this case would have been dismissed. It seems like not realistic. You know what I mean? So now he's going to give a statement of the claims upon which he's basing this lawsuit. Let's see what he says. I seeking damage because I feel like I was being harassed. At the time I was homeless. I was made famous, and use and oppression used in lyrics and song, delete of memory used by many of his peers for song. I was being exploited, embarrass me, bodily waste discharged. Now I'm being marginalized and social distancing, and now I'm being blackballed. Psychological brainwash. I was called stupid and R-word by the person Jay-Z. Vulgar language to describe me. Used for slavery. Well, that's it. That's the whole complaint. So this was, like I said, dismissed. So let's look at that dismissal and see why it was dismissed. real quick, what does it seem like if you're a judge and you're having to try and put together what's going on in this case? What does it seem like the guy's claims actually are? Well, it seems like the claims are somehow he was exploited, used for his artistic talents. He, importantly, in my opinion, he doesn't make any claims about things, but he does say that part about human waste, whatever that was, what he said, human bodily waste discharge or something, girl, I don't know. But he doesn't say he was exploited. He's more talking about being used for his artistic talents, being used in a bunch of people's songs, being called vulgar language. So, I mean, it's not really far-fetched for me to believe that a famous person would use vulgar language. It doesn't make me surprised to find out that they may sometimes exploit homeless people. Am I saying that did happen? Hell no. I wasn't there, girl. I don't know. I don't know any of these people. But let's see why the judge dismissed the case. On April 21st, the pro se plaintiff filed 2 actions.
Exactly. If you're being overthoughts, y'all said it just right. This was pretty much made to look like he was crazy. It was the whole scripture was falsified to make him look like he was crazy.
Against these defendants. In one action, he alleged that he was being harassed and followed by people in the community. He also alleged he was being attacked in his sleep. In the other action, the plaintiff alleges human harassment, and psychological brainwash. He seeks $20 billion in damages in each action. These actions are consolidated for the purpose of this order. Okay, so the judge tells us off the bat, this man is filing other lawsuits, and I'll let y'all know the man did file a bunch of them. He filed some against different people. He's filed some against the Department of Children and Family Services. He filed it against, I don't know, Jack in the Box. I don't know, a bunch of people. He's filed a lot of lawsuits around this time in April 2022. And just to reiterate, the man could be out of his damn mind. I don't know, okay? It looks like he can't really spell that good. Looks like his grammar's not that good. But girl, I mean, I got people in my family that's illiterate and they can't spell at all. That doesn't.
Again, shout out to Surprise Witness TV. But it's just one of those things where it's like, okay, it's starting to make sense now what Sloan was even saying. The next 3 years, the man is going to go through trial and tribulation as far as having to change up his whole character, because now his skeletons are starting to come out the closet. And if he's going through the trial and tribulation over the next 3 years, it's because he has a heavier set of skeletons in his closet. These heavier sets of skeletons is what's going to cause the rift and split between him and Beyonce, for Beyonce to finally wake up and say, all right, now I see the shit that you've been doing. I need to take the kids. I need to get the fuck up out of here. You go your way and do what you got to do, but you ain't even like no more here in the United States to begin with. So, with that being said, let us take a look at these tweets now. Oop, wrong thing. Let's take a look now at these tweets from Miss Nicki Minaj here. Again, shout out to Surprise Witness TV. Y'all like and subscribe to her channel. Wonderful channel. I absolutely love her channel. Broke down what was going on with Miss Britney Spears. So, as you can see here, Nicki Minaj took to Twitter. One nigga took a knee, the other nigga took the bag. He gonna get you niggas in line every fucking time. One nigga took a knee, the other took a bag. Talking about Colin Kaepernick and that whole thing with the take one knee and that whole campaign that was funded by Rock Nation. Yeah, again, funded by Rock Nation. Elliot, if you'd spit Jay-Z dick out for 1 second, you'd be able to be happy for the newcomers. Isn't that how y'all tried to tarnish my image? By saying I'm not welcome new bitches in? I'm not welcoming new bitches? Oh, wow. Did songs with all of them though? Why you not happy for a young black man like Kai? Tomorrow, bitch. Ooh. Nicki's pretty much been on a rampage with her tweets. God forbid if Wayne was to leave this earth right now, the culture would be in mourning. That's why so many people keep saying to give our legends their flowers while they are still around. To smell them sitting around all day playing games with people's lives and legacy. God ain't sleep. That's a deep one right there. God ain't sleep. G. Roberson, you will learn that too very soon. And down further, she said, want niggas to suck his dick for a Grammy. Want them to suck his dick to the halftime show. Glad I did it already. LMFAO threatening any outlet who shows me love. Niglet if you don't get gone. Now, I'm not too sure who this particular tweet was about, other than the Jay-Z and Lil Wayne situation. Lil Wayne not being able to perform at the Super Bowl. I'm not too sure who the bottom part was about necessarily. That one, Nicki talks in codes heavily. But like I said, she's been on a rampage of rants. So, and by the way, you don't know the half of what Lil Wayne has done for me and others. Wayne had Drake and I on his tour with no paper sign. He was on all of my mixtapes with no paper sign. This man has literally changed the face of hip hop. The hair too. If you know, you know. Yes, influential. Jay-Z. Wayne is extremely influential to the hip hop scene. Now, don't need to read the rest of these tweets. How about we do this? Right? To put into even better context of why Kendrick Lamar is performing at the Super Bowl, I want you to look at Lil Wayne performing in 2024.
How y'all doing tonight? When? Right from the start. Yeah. Switching the vibe so strong and true. The very shout out to my man Nick right up here. Him and the family. Shout out to Samantha up in here. Let's go. T-Lou. You ready? Yes, sir! Oh my God, what music, man! Put your little fingers up! Sing this song, girl! Hey, man.
So, you remember that teleprompter Jaguar, right, was always talking about that Jay-Z raps from? And all these other rappers that don't remember their words, you literally can see the teleprompter right there to the left of Lil Wayne, in which there has a cue of words on it. In case a nigga ever forget his words, his lyrics are always right there. What it do, night night? What it do? What it do? On top of, this is just, I'm not gonna let the rest of it play, of course, a little bit of a play. But this is Lil Wayne at the Prudential Center just a couple months ago. Now, again, I understand Wayne performing in New Orleans would be a huge deal. But I want you all to take notice and look at this performance just a little bit. Yes, definitely is overthoughts. Definitely is.
Let's go.
Okay, so on top of the lyrics being there, right? Does anyone take notice to the crowd? Does anyone else take notice to, Wayne's actual performing right now and his catering to the actual crowd? Or is he just moving around, rapping on stage, looking down most of the time?
I bet the space like land come. Damn, these niggas somebody no dance, man. You cannot be me on my stand, but I really fucking ready. You never understand. crazy motherfucker I am. Oh, put the crazy thing in. Yeah, let's go.
Did anybody hear that crowd there? Exactly. They're not into it. Even when he tried to do his little acapella right there, they're just not into it. So, if I'm someone that has decision making in who's going to be performing at a Super Bowl halftime show, and I have billions of people potentially watching, this cannot happen. We already remember very recently Wayne trying to do a show and him literally saying, y'all not into me? Fuck it. I'm going to just go home. And took his ass on home. Because they weren't feeling it. Now, let us look at this year's halftime Super Bowl performance difference.
It's the Tycoon Talking Pop E40, also known as 40 Water again. Tonight's been a beautiful sight to see so far. Sometimes all it takes is one domino to fall to get the momentum going. And the West Coast needed this reminder.
Terrible performance.
I'm proud of us in this moment.
That was horrible.
That it's on Juneteenth. This is a victory lap. Y'all know what I read. But man, as history has shown, there's always been a fire and a certain kind of spark coming up out of Compton especially. Y'all always rise from.
This nigga hasn't even come out yet. Let me just say that. This nigga ain't even come out yet. And I already would like to see this more than, Wayne at the Super Bowl show.
Ashes and rise to the occasion. You love when they count you out.
Ain't said a word yet. And aren't y'all saying to yourselves, I'd rather see this than what we just witnessed with Wayne?
Superpowers get neutralized like a homely watching silence. The first artist we once knew was looking paranoid and now spiraling. You're moving just like a degenerate, having antic is feeling distasteful. I calculate you, not as calculated. How can you predict your angle? Fabricate stories on the family front, cause you heard Mr. Morale, a pathetic master manipulator. I can smell the lines on you now. You're not a rap artist, you're a scam artist with the hopes of being accepted. Tommy Hilfiger stood out, but Fubu never had been a collection. I make music that electrify. You make music that pacify. I could double down on that line, but spray this time. Random acts of kindness. Know you're a master manipulator and habitual liar too. But don't tell no lie about me, and I'm gonna tell the truth about you.
All those in favor of seeing this at the Super Bowl, didn't say aye.
Yeah, I'm out the way, yeah, I'm low, okay. Get an island right here for a motor, okay. Thinking about no people, like I'm reaping what I sow, okay. Benjamin in the Jackson, all in my house, like I'm Hellcat. When it's home place, in them tight LA solo, okay. Everybody wanna be demon till they get chipped by your throwaway. And I might do a show a day. Once a lame, always a lame. Oh, you thought the money, the power, the fame will make you go away? Have you ever played? Have you ever? Okay, nigga, let's play. Have you ever walked your enemy down?
You hear that motherfucking crowd?
With a poker face, have you ever paid 500 down? Like to a no big case? Well, I have, and I felt that poke, but I came out I hate when a rapper talk about guns, then somebody die, they turn into none. Hop online, pray for my city, he faking for likes and digital hugs. Daddy a killer, he wanna be Junior. Must have forgot the shit that he done. Dementia was running his family. Get shaky, I Parkinson. Very first time I shot me a Drake. The homie had told me that image is weight. I didn't pray down enough. Today I show you I learned from those mistakes. Somebody has said that you got a ring. God, I'm ready to double the wage. Better do that than a Canadian nigga make pot turn in his grave. Cutthroat business, you got shit twisted. What is it, the brains? I hurt your feelings, you don't wanna work with me no more, okay. If 3 ghosts left at night, see 2 of them kissing and hugging on stage. I love them to death, and then 8 bars, I'll explain that phrase. It's nothing nobody can tell me. I don't wanna talk on no silly. You know I got language barriers. It's no accent you can sell me. Yeah, Conan Nabi, no, I'm a selfish nigga, the crown is heavy. I pray they my real friends, if not, how YNW Melly. I don't like you popping shit that for real. For him, I inherit the beef. Hey, fuck all that pushing P. Let me see you push a T. You better hospital again on him. You think about pushing me. He's Terrence Thornton, I'm Terrence Crawford. Yeah, I'm whooping feet. We ain't gotta get personal, this a friendly fade. You should keep it that way. Know some shit about niggas, make gonna wanna look like a saint. Ain't been about critics, not about gimmicks, not about who the greatest. Always been about love and hate. Now let me say, I'm the biggest. I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk. I hate the way that you talk. But this feature request, you know that we got some shit. I even hate when you say the word. Some shit just cringe-worthy. He ain't even gotta get. Still love when you see cess. Everything with me is blessed. Keep making me dance, waving my hand, and there won't be no threat. Knowing they call you the boy, where's a man? I ain't seen him yet. Give me Tupac back, and I might give you a little respect. Remember, hey, top dog. Crush my middle name.
Crowd motherfucking control. Knew he messed up the lyric on purpose because he wanted to put something else in. Kept control of the crowd. They kept going with every single word.
Still ain't walk around with that. I don't like when you, only you like being. Johnny can't give you no swag neither. I don't give a, hold up. Hey, top dog. Who the fuck they think they playing with? Brush my middle name, and you walk out of that plane, bitch. I don't love you to the lame shit. Only you like being famous. Johnny can't give you no swag neither. I don't give a fuck about who you. I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk. I hate the way that you dress. Prize you wanted that feature request. Know that we got some shit to address. Even hate when you say the word nigga. That's just me, I guess. Some shit just cringe-worthy. He ain't even gotta be. Still love when you see success. Everything with me is blessed. Keep making me damn wave with my hand. It won't be no threat. No, they call you the boy, but where's a man? Ain't seen them yet. Matter of fact, I ain't even bleed them yet. Can I bleed them? When I see you dance by sexy red, I believe you see 2 bad bitches. I believe you don't like women. Real competition, you might pop ass with them. Let's speak on percentage. Show me your splits. I'll make sure I double back with you. You can find to a nigga that signed to a nigga that was said you was signed to. Try season the sins on a like that record. Oh, what you ain't? Back to back up. I'ma get back to that for the record. Why would I try to run around trying to run on niggas? So I'm thinking my life is that's some shit. I got a song to raise, but I can see you don't know nothing about waking him up, then making them pray. Speaking the truth, to walk through life like day by day. Speaking the code and honoring discipline. Listen, man. You don't know nothing about that. Giving the truth, you tell them what God considering. You don't know nothing about that. Ain't 20v1, it's 1v20. If I gotta smack niggas that right with you. Yeah, bring them out too, I kill them out too. Being better stay right with you. And my battling goes so AI. Nigga feeling like Joe Wallstein. Funny, he was in a film car, AI. And my 6'6" telling me to off fiend. I'm a big niggas all in their coffee. Yeah, OB-ho niggas is dick rider. They run to America to imitate heritage. They can't imitate dick. What I learned is niggas don't like the West Coast, and I'm fine with it. I'll push the line with it. Pick a nigga off one at a time with it. We could be on a 2-hour time different. Don't speak on the family. It can get deep in your family, quoted. Go against me and my family, quoted. Someone go bleed on your family, quoted. I'll be at New Hard King, get the fried rice with a dim sub and a blammy. Tell me you're cheesing, fam. We can do this right now on the camera. Hey, fuck y'all niggas. I don't trust y'all niggas. I weigh one figure and fuck y'all niggas like. Feel go put y'all niggas. They punk y'all niggas. Nobody never took my food. Whoever that's fucking with them. And fuck the industry too. If you take it there, taking it further. That's something you don't want to do.
So, again, I get it. Lil Wayne should be performing at the Super Bowl. But there's a much lively nigga at this time. Much more live nigga right now. And his name is Kendrick Lamar. if you have not taken notice. Now, the reason why I chose this particular performance, not necessarily to shit on Wayne, but I wanted y'all to also pay attention to the lyrics. Let me see you Pusha T. Who did J Mills mention earlier that Wayne had a beef with? Again, this is how deep rooted this particular beef actually is. The reason why Kendrick Lamar was chosen is because of the beef between Jay and Wayne, but also because Kendrick is going at Drake, who is in Wayne's camp. Kendrick was actually chosen for this way beforehand. This wasn't just because of the year he had. Kendrick was long since chosen for the halftime show for New Orleans because of that deep-rooted beef in there. You heard all those lyrics that were, you signed to a nigga that signed to a nigga that say they signed. Is that not following down the line of Drake being signed to Wayne, Wayne being signed to Baby, Baby being signed to... Again, this is way more deep-rooted than what people actually are paying attention to. This is a 15-year fucking beef damn near. Almost 20. I didn't even have to break down Mr. Me Too. Excuse me. Between Wayne and Pusha. We ain't even have to go there. We appreciate you too, Icon Vonnie. We appreciate you too. I love everybody in the chat. Let me also say that first and foremost. I love seeing all y'all here. I always do. I will always say I started this off talking to my goddamn self on Twitch, and I would entertain that one person for 2 hours. I didn't know who that one person was. It could have been, you know what I'm saying? It could have been a bot. I was entertaining that bot for 2 hours. So I love seeing all y'all up in here. I really do. Deep-rooted beef. Kendrick was chosen long since for this halftime show. This whole, and Fury B also said, yes, night. You as well, I think, said it. The whole devalue Drake campaign is still underway. That has not stopped. I saw a meme earlier. I cried when you get a notification 5 minutes in advance that they're going to call you a pedophile at the Super Bowl halftime show. I cried, almost fell out my chair. Had a picture of Drake. When you get a 5-month notice that they about to call you a pedophile. Billions of people. They not like us. They not like us. Will be heard throughout the entire Super Bowl halftime show. For all those who are not like us out, I'm sorry. You might have to sit this one out. For all y'all that are Kendrick Lamar out, I'm sorry. Y'all gonna have to sit this one out. Because for the rest of us that are watching my nigga run around that stage and continue to do his crown run, we gonna be right here. Because this is a long time coming. This is a long time coming. Kendrick is taking his victory lap around the world of where he is right now in hip hop. Fuck him up. Wop, 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 wop. It's real out here. I love it though. I love the fact that there is. I'm not gonna say I love the fact that there's this much pettiness. It's just entertaining. It is very entertaining how petty these two have gotten over the years between just Wayne and Jay, or should I say Wayne and Birdman. I mean, hell, you can say all three of them. You can pretty much say all three of them, right? But there is another part to this. There is another part to this right here. And it's actually a little bit, it gets a little bit darker from here. Because another person that's being affected by Jay-Z and Rock Nation would be who I played the intro record to. That would be our good friend Tory Lanez. I will forever say free Tory Lanez. I don't care who has something against that. I will forever say free Tory Lanez. If you are a third eye thinker with me, the way the rest of us are here in the chat, you understand why I'm saying free Tory Lanez. If I haven't already, I believe I have broken down my feelings at least on that entire court case. I was with the dad. I was with the dad going fuck Jay-Z and fuck Rock Nation. I was with the dad on that one. I understand why that father let out those rages of cries and said fuck Rock Nation and Jay-Z for you holding that damn witness upstairs like that and then turncoating him like that. That whole shit right there was just nasty. And all because you wanted your little star Megan to keep going and blossom, all because you had something against Quarantine Radio and him saying something against Jimmy Iovine. See, people didn't realize that the whole Megan Thee Stallion setup was because Tory said fuck Jimmy Iovine and Interscope and he was going to let out secrets in the industry. Tory was one of the main first people that was vocal before Cat Williams saying he was going to expose things. Because he was trying to get out of his deal with Interscope. Does anybody remember when he did that? When he threatened to expose Interscope Records? That was back in 2019 when he did that. Word, put them umbrellas up in the chat. Put them umbrellas up in the chat. So 2019, Tory Lanez threatens to expose Interscope Records. Tory Lanez has just fired a warning shot. On Saturday night, the 27-year-old artist returned to Instagram to deliver a message to his record label, Interscope Records. If y'all niggas don't stop playing with me, I'm gonna expose what's really going on in that fucking building. He commented on the post about an hour. This, of course, was deleted. This is going to be fun, I promise. That was on his Quarantine Radio, I believe. Or prior to him going to live on his Quarantine Radio. One fan took to the comment section urging Lanez to calm down. Chill, bro, the user wrote. I ain't trying to see you killed. You see how someone even said that? Because people knew even back then, Tory was playing with fire saying that. Lanez reassured everyone he wasn't scared, responding, that's the difference. I don't care. My integrity, respect, and the path of light that I can show the generation after me is more important than this life that niggas is so scared to lose. Pretty much putting it on the line like, yo, and after this, remember, he got let out the deal with Interscope and he went completely independent. So yeah, I got that wrong. Quarantine Radio was actually after this. That was another reason that they were so mad at him. Because he went completely independent and had the success of Quarantine Radio, then he had that NFT of his records, so $2 million in like less than a minute. Tory was pretty much set. He was pretty much set by himself. He did not need the industry anymore. I want to say what, 6-7 months down the line after him, the success of Quarantine Radio. Only One Zane, what it do? We get the Megan Thee Stallion situation. And fuck that best friend too. The one that actually pulled the gun. You came out on live and actually let us all know that you were the one that pulled the fucking gun. And you pretty much just gave the interrogators a story to make it look like you were a victim, when it was actually you arguing with Megan over Tory. You were the one arguing with Megan over Tory in the backseat. It was your best friend that got out the car with the gun yelling, "Dance, bitch." That's where you heard the dance bitch from. It wasn't Tory. Because Tory, as the neighbor and another witness said, was fighting her ass over the gun that was about to shoot you. Tory literally saved your life. And that was how you thanked him. Lying on Gail. That's how you thank that man that saved your life. When your best friend Kelsey was about to end it, that nigga jumped in and saved your fucking life. And was the reason that you only got a graze in your fucking foot. But you want to put him in jail because Rock Nation wanted him there. That's the shit that was nasty to me. That man saved your fucking life that night. From Kelsey shooting you. And you had the nerve to put that man in jail. That's why you were so quiet and stuttering in that fucking courtroom. You knew you was doing wrong. You got in front of God. Took an oath. Knew you was lying up there. Knew you've been lying to the world about what happened. And because of that, we have an innocent man in jail, I believe. Everyone wants to talk about the tape of him supposedly confessing. That wasn't him confessing. That was a man being sorry that he got too drunk and should have stayed at the party where he was asked to. He literally could have just stayed at the fucking party. We all knew that. He was asked to leave. Megan said it herself. He was asked to leave with them. He didn't have to go anywhere. He just got there and was getting comfortable. And was about to get more expensive pussy than what them two was offering. $1 billion pussy was on the line. And he was about to get it and they didn't like it. And these two drunk bitches get into a fight over him not wanting either one of you two bitches at the time. That was another thing. This was he said, fuck it. I can't have, you know what I'm saying? I can't have her. I got to leave the mansion. I might as well make the most of this night. Get these two. I already fucked one. Hell, we all drunk. Maybe this might end up okay. That is what Tory was apologizing over on that phone for. The fact that he thought that was a good idea that night. I was just trying to save my girl. Exactly. Bruh was just trying to make sure you didn't die that night and got 20 years on his head. 20 years that should have got thrown out had you told the fucking truth. But we move forward to today, where unfortunately Tory Lanez's powers that be have shut down him being able to record in prison. He was using the royalties to reopen people's cases. That's right. Tory wasn't just using his royalty money for commissary. Tory was literally using the money he was making from the mixtapes in jail to free people. How is it a man that's listen? Let me explain something to you, right? And I don't need to play the video, but you can look up videos of niggas doing way worse shit in jail and documenting it and putting it on TikTok and Instagram. Hell, Pop Smoke's killer was literally showing it in y'all face, and we gonna get to that Saturday. I did not forget Pop Smoke. I got some shit. 5-0, I'm on to you. Anyway, you literally had Pop Smoke's killer in jail flexing he had pizza, smoking blunts. Okay? Whole murderer flexing he's smoking blunts in jail, getting phones in, getting charges in for people on live. But he can't record music. The man can't record music. Suge Knight got a whole fucking podcast and he can't record music. It's niggas making whole albums in jail right now. It's niggas with whole careers on TikTok and live right now. He can't make music to help people get out of jail? You can't tell me that, as he said, there aren't powers that be that are at hand with this. That is why we are covering Petty Pendergrass. Because Petty Pendergrass got his name all over this one. Tory Lanez is speaking out after his prison tapes recording equipment was snatched. He claims he was creating too much social change with his revenue streams. We broke the story. TL's cell was raided yesterday. Tory Lanez's cell was raided yesterday. Effectively ending his weekly releases. On Tuesday, Tory Lanez claimed he's witnessed tons of racial injustice since arriving at the California Correctional Institution and feels it's become his life calling to help minorities seek proper representation. Tory's been releasing the prison tapes tracks all summer, technically enough for a full album, but he says it wasn't a problem until the higher-ups realized he had been using his music money to reopen legal cases for nearly 500 inmates. Now, let me also put something into perspective here. That song I played in the beginning came out a month ago. It has 1.8 million views on it. Just on YouTube. Tory is in jail with zero promotion. It has 1.8 million views on one record. $1.8 million views, zero promotion on one song that is not on the radio. That was probably some of y'all first time even hearing that song tonight. Tory's amazing talent will forever speak for itself. That is why they put that man behind bars, though. Because Tory was too powerful with just his music alone. Let me say this. We all know, because yes, as much as what it would do, Sadate, as much as we don't want to say that, we've seen this happen a million times also. There's no need to be sorry. We've seen this happen a million times before. Because the next person I can easily compare this to is DMX. To where you start putting them back and forth in jail, or just have them in jail for a long period of time, and by the time they get out, they're supposedly devalued. And if they're saying enough bad things about the higher ups, they're just called crazy. Then they are taken out immediately. Because the world deems them as crazy and devalued already. We are literally watching it play out with Kanye West. So Juju did not say anything, out of the ordinary. This literally could possibly be the start of what's going on. Unfortunately. And I hate to see it like that. I wish I could show you my actual DM on when I told Tory 2 months, I want to say 2 months after when Quarantine Radio was taking off and successful, I thought about him saying what he said at Interscope, and I DM'd him. Of course, he didn't respond back. I DM'd him and literally said, yo, shout out to you, bro. I just hope they don't try something on you. Keep your head on a swivel. Like I said, months down the line, what happened would happen. The rumors are true. The prison tapes, this came from his Instagram. Rumors are true. The prison tapes will be discontinued until further notice. However, I think it's important that my fans know the truth about the crooked ass shit that's really going on here. My cell was not raided and trashed because I learned how to record myself in prison or because I created the prison tapes. I was shut down because the higher ups figured out what I was really doing with the prison tapes and how many inmates were being helped in a life-changing way because of them. Since the first day I was incarcerated, all I've seen in blacks and other minorities receive the most cruel, illegal, and unfair punishment treatment for so many rights. I ask God to reveal his purpose in making me go through the ills of the prison system. I was later shown that purpose. I was placed in jail to suffer, to feel, and to witness firsthand the pain and oppression being inflicted upon the young black and brown men and women of my generation. I knew I had to change this injustice, so I made a plan that when I go to prison, I would figure out a way to record music and put all the proceeds towards the legal representation of my fellow inmates, giving them a once-in-a-lifetime chance to go home to their families and appeal in resentencing. Not even for his own fucking legal fees and his own appeal that he's fighting. He said, I'm going to put this money towards the other people that need to go home. Although the higher-ups have stopped the prison tapes temporarily, I like that you said that, temporarily, they were too late to stop my overall plan. Since the month of July, I've afforded legal representation for 472 inmates. 472 goddamn inmates, Tory. My nigga. 472 inmates, brother. Kudos to you. 472 inmates. My God. And actively reopening 476 cases. With the help of legal firm Unite the People. So many inmates will be returned to their families and loved ones. I'm naming this the Hands of God Project. Lastly, they know I'm a threat and they don't want me saying or doing this. So if anything happens to me, listen how he says this. If anything happens to me, just know I went out in the blaze of glory trying to revolutionize the end of a mass incarceration era of our people. Credits the he credits the Unite the People legal firm he's been working with for steering the movement. A divine intervention he's dubbing the Hands of God Project. Tory has also hinted if anything should happen to him, to blame should be the obvious to his fans. It was the man. He emphasizes the man. Man, like I said, free my nigga Torio. Free Torio. It's like I said, it's brothers like that they have to do something to though. Not trying to say it like that, but it's brothers like Tory that the elites don't want out there. They don't want them being successful out there or having any influence. Tory, you can easily compare to a Nipsey Hussle situation. I'm sorry to say it like that. Because, again, Tory's power and influence through his music alone and his personality and charisma is why they don't want him on the street. It was either this or, like he said, if something happens to me. That brings my next point, lyricist. The industry does fund the prisons. One of those people that help fund them would be someone that works with Roc Nation. Former informer of U.S. government, Roc Nation CEO Desiree Perez, pardoned by Trump. You guys remember Desiree Perez, right? Y'all remember hearing the news about her, right? And even Meek Mill had to say something about Desiree Perez, right? And all the people that she supposedly has helped go to jail after she was caught in 1994 for her possession of 35 kilos of cocaine. But again, a former government informant is a CEO snitch, exactly, for Roc Nation. So you see how Tory Lane's dad can easily say fuck Roc Nation and Jay-Z? Roc Nation CEO is literally a government fucking informant. Allegedly along with Jay. So you got to understand how deep rooted Jay-Z's connections are. It's not just he's got a partnership with the NFL. He's got a partnership in many other things. And there actually is a hip-hop agenda that not so many people are actually privy to. Right? So back in the day, there was this thing called the secret meeting. And I'm a little bit parched right now, so I'm going to play this real quick and I'm going to just grab some water real quick. But I'm going to let Crazy Bone tell y'all about the secret meeting back in the day, in which they talked about helping, or should I say having hip hop help further incarcerate inmates. I should say incarcerate young adolescents and even more adults to pretty much help profit with the prisons.
Let's make all the dudes criminals and all the women hoes.
Right.
Why are you just strictly so bent on this is all you want our young kids to hear?
You know why? It's the
Exactly.
biggest influence.
So that's why I say it's no conspiracy.
Yeah, I got
It's
you.
right in front of our face.
You made an interesting statement that I want to just kind of see if you can elaborate on. You said that you I know you had said somewhere, I think it was on your podcast, that there was a big meeting, with the record labels in terms of and basically the record labels and the owners of the prisons are in cahoots. They're the same people.
Yeah.
You really believe that's a thing?
Man, yes, it could be. There's a lot of big corporations that have ownership in prisons. It's rich black people that got ownership in prisons.
Right.
They just don't go around bragging about. That's one big move they don't go around bragging about. You know, bro, it's no secret, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like.
So you feel as if basically they own the prisons and they're using the music to market, basically niggas to do what they do and get locked up.
It has to be a reason why. First of all, hip hop has been the dominant music genre for decades now.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So knowing that this has,
the influence.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, that's the music we need to focus on. Hip hop became popular and because, you know what I'm saying, it was the main music, bigger than country music.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So this is what if this is what got the kids, that's what we want.
Hollywood is a branch of the government, by the way. The CIA does fund movies as well. So it's not far-fetched to believe.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's all control. Like, bro, like we can go that particular episode right there is like, to me, it's not so much conspiracy because it's like they do it in front of our face.
Okay, so it ain't even conspiracy. This is what it is.
No, we see, man. Why do every artist always complain? How come every black buyout movie you see starts good, ends bad?
Right.
Every last one of them.
Right.
Every last one of them. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy.
Wow.
Everybody got the same story.
Yeah.
Bro. Like it's wild. So it's like
it's no different than Period B. Whack 100. Yes, Night. Same thing. Big U even. The grid thing. That whole grid contract thing. It's the same exact thing. The labels pretty much fund what's going on. And they have a deal with the prisons. The more people you bring in here, the more you guys keep saying. That's why, if you think about it, right, all of the music that is popularized is nothing but negative energy. Nothing but negative energy music. I mean, you can tie that into the other shit we've been talking about, too, with Anunnaki and reptilians, but anyway. Negative energy. But the negative energy is also to influence the youth to do negative things and end up in prison. Kill. Fuck your bitch. I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna rob you. I'm gonna glorify stealing. I'm gonna glorify this life that I had. I'm gonna glorify me going to jail back and forth. Hell, you see how they celebrating Pop Smoke's murderer? He's a kid. Predictive programming, mind control. Exactly, Emil. And it's done deliberately to ensure that the young adolescents, the youth, pretty much fill up the jails. Yeah. And that's one of the reasons why Ray J pretty much wants to kill himself. Amongst him knowing what he knows with Whitney Houston. Like, yeah. It's a little bit deeper. The rabbit hole goes so deep. Again, why Wayne probably doesn't even want it, doesn't care necessarily. The fans probably don't want Wayne performing, knowing what they know. Why would Wayne want to represent that? Furthermore, why would Wayne want to do any type of business with Jay? It starts there. And then that too. Like it gets a think about Matulu, right? You just mentioned Night Pac, right? Think about Matulu. How long has Matulu was locked up? They ain't let Matulu out until both of them were dead. I thought about that too. Like Pac's actual dad didn't get let out until his mom and him were both gone. Like the whole government agenda, Jonathan Oddie spoke about as well. Jonathan Oddie literally spoke about that whole thing being tied into the prisons and the drug game and the sex trafficking all being tied in together. All of it is linked together. But it's mainly for power and control, order out of chaos. It's all for, you see, who said the mafia owned the jukeboxes that controlled the original charts, and they leased them to the businesses. Yeah, that was how we actually looked at that actual. They had that in the music industry doc that we shared on Takeoff's doc that I did when I did the breakdown on how they got rid of Takeoff with Motown. And back in the day, the mafia was the original people that funded the record labels. That they were the original reason to why the record labels started getting life insurance policies, because the mafia was funding the record labels and they were saying, hey, we got to make sure we get our return on our investment to you motherfuckers. Y'all better start taking life insurance policies out on these artists. But what they didn't realize what was actually going to happen was when the artist died and their revenue went up, they said, oh, okay, we might be able to make a business out of this also. Unfortunately, it starts the sacrifice cycle. We kill this person, we get some money.